I got actually a really exciting unboxing today. We got Drew's Boots. So the guys at Baker's/Drew's, there's Drew's Boots, which I think is just their boot brand. And then there's Baker's, which is a store that carries a bunch of different brands. They carry Whites, they carry Red Wing, they carry Danner, Georgia, Westcoat, Crispy, tons and tons of brands. And I believe they're like a store that carries a bunch of different things. And they carry a lot of really, really cool stuff. And then they used to have their own boots. I believe that they might have been Drew boots. I can't remember if they're Baker's or Drew's, but they had their own line of boots, but it was made by some of the Pacific Northwest brands. And I don't think they ever tried to hide that. I think it was pretty open and honest about it. But then a couple of years ago, as the Pacific Northwest boots continued to grow and became more popular and really just started blowing up when it comes to the work boot world, but also just the casual world, what they've done is taken this Pacific Northwest style of construction, all the materials, and shipped the production to Mexico instead of Pacific Northwest, and had the boots made there. And what's interesting about that is the majority of the components that the Pacific Northwest boots use are from Mexico. Obviously, there's going to be some people that are, oh yeah, it's not made in the U.S. or I'm not supporting Mexico. And there's good arguments all around. It's like there is no right argument to that. I lean more towards the U.S. goods, but it is very expensive to do that kind of stuff. Not everyone has the money for that. And so they released their more work/firefighting boots a year ago, something like that. And it seems like they had a lot of success. We haven't really cut one apart yet. So this is really my first in-depth look into the Drew's boots. So what is this boot? Well, I believe this is the Drew's 6-inch contractor boot. And I'm not even sure what color it's in, but it retails for $379. And their product description says, all boots we make are produced by craftsmen who have decades of shoemaking experience, in some cases third-generation shoemakers. These boots are hand-lasted using old-world techniques and with the best components sourced across the world. Our upper leather is made with U.S. hides that are 6.5 to 7 ounces thick. An industry-first pre-molded leather insole. Okay, so that's like kind of the general gist of what they're trying to do with these boots, I'm assuming. But for this boot specifically, our Contractor series has the same upper design and pattern as our Drew's loggers, but in shorter heights and built with a Vibram 430 mini lug sole for more versatility on the job site, hitting the town with your spouse, or for style without dragging in the mud. So, pretty interesting to me because I like anything from heavy duty work boots down to the more casual stuff. This style of boot has made a name for itself over the last 100 years, because this is the heaviest duty, hardest working work boots that are really available worldwide, in my opinion. And they've been anything from logging boots to firefighting boots to construction boots, all this kind of stuff. And so it's really cool to be able to get a pair of these for $380 instead of the $600 to $700. But obviously they're made in Mexico, and that's where you get a lot of the price savings. There are some other features, like they've adjusted the 55 last that's really popularized. It's a little more almondy shape. It's not my favorite last, but they've widened it about 1/8 of an inch. They say the leather is a lot like a Chrome Excel leather, but it's tanned in Mexico in a similar way. And an interesting thing is they use a veg tan leather toe box, a toe counter, rather than the Celastic or synthetic or even just no toe box, no toe stifter. I think that's good enough. So let's unbox it. I'm gonna measure a few of the thicknesses of some of the most classic and iconic old school sneakers, like these Vans, 1.7, these Converse, 1.5, these Nikes that look like Sambas, 1.2, Blazers, 1.5, Air Force Ones, 1.6. Compare that to the Smugs, which stands for sneakers made using good shit. It's a collaboration we're doing with Goral that drops on April 25th. These come in at 2.4 and 2.5. And basically what we want to do with this is make a sneaker up to boot standard and boot quality across the board. That's why we're using such thick leather. It's going to be more durable. It's going to last longer, so you can resole this thing over and over and over instead of having this cheap plastic coated leather wear out in like 3 or 4 months. The whole goal with this was to make a sneaker built like a boot, that lasts like a boot, that's comfortable like a boot. And I think we pull it off, especially with this natural Chrome Excel. Smells so good. So check them out below. These drop on April 25th. Be sure to sign up to the limited edition email list to get early access, because there's only 700 available. And through that email list, we're gonna send you everything you need to know, like sizing information, specs, everything to get ready to order these as soon as they launch for that early access, so you don't miss out on them. So check it out below. What's the knife today? It's a Kershaw something. I like this little knife. It's really right out to the point, and it makes me nervous to use it sometimes because those little really pointy knives can be really fragile. Got a nice little action to it though. I keep it in my Drifter ones. Yeah, look at that little Red Dog boot pocket kit. I think we got some Red Dog kilties coming out soon if they're not out already. Got the boot pocket kit in the same leathers. Looking good. Okay, shameless plug over. Let's get this thing unboxed. box inside of the box. Hey, what do we have? We got the Rowdy Smooth in a 9D, which I might have gone a little bit too small. Because on their site they say go half a size down from your Brannock, and I went a full size, so we'll see when I try it on. More importantly, let's see what is inside this box. I'm so bad at these. Oh yeah, very nice. Ooh, heavy. A lot of leather in these boots. First, let's start with what we got in the box before we get to the boots. First of all, really nice little keychain, nice little touch, Drews. Got a little package here with baby little kilties, tiny guys. Nice and thick though. Some classic leather laces, boot repair service information, fitting tips, and leather care. Hey Weston, thank you for ordering with Drews and supporting small business. Reach out if you have any questions. Thanks, Drews team. I always love a little handwritten touch. Okay, now to the boots. How do these things look? So, yeah, definitely wider. The 55, they've taken the 55 last, maintained that arch support, but just made it a little bit wider, which is really what I would be looking for in a 55 style last. Okay, first, initial impressions, how they come out of the box. They're a little beat up. You know, you got some discoloring and stuff just from jostling around the boots. Nothing more than just superficial stuff that you can literally just rub the waxes back into the leather. I got just a little bit of some bad leather there. Not that it's actually going to affect anything, but some people get very sensitive about leather and they want everything to be absolutely flawless. Oh, they are heavy though. Big tall heel, you got that logger heel. Another thing I noticed is very low gusseted tongue. Some people are gonna love that, some people are not gonna love that. I go back and forth depending on what I'm using them for. I like that there's 3 speed hooks. Sometimes boots only have 2 speed hooks that are 6-inch tall. And my little ankles are so skinny that when I cinch it down and I wanna use the speed hooks by not untying them, I don't have enough room. And so 3 is essential for me. Yeah, that leather definitely does look like Chrome XL. You know, it's got that same pull-up effect. This looks a lot like their natural Chrome, or Horween's natural Chrome XL, but this is a Mexican-made version of it, essentially. Like they try to replicate it. Pretty handsome looking boot. I'm never a big fan of huge heels. Half sock liner on the inside. More importantly, let's give it the sniff test. How we smelling? Ooh, that's a good smell boot. That smells like a Western store. So I think it's the Mexican leather. Mexican leather has a very unique smell. It smells like all cowboy boots. What else? We got the stitch down at the toe. Looks like a full leather heel stack. I'm really curious how they feel on foot and if the size fits me and what I think of the arch support on a 55, a modified 55. So like I said, they recommend going half a size down from your Brannock. So I'm at 10. I probably should have gotten 9.5. The leather is 2.5 to 2.8 millimeters thick. Is that true enough for the scope of this video? Yep, 2.8. Leather lined vamp. Grain leather too. That's nice. Not just a cheaper suede. Pre-molded leather insole. That's an interesting one. I don't really know how that works compared to like a non-molded insole. Maybe when we cut these in half, we'll go a little bit deeper into that and see what that actually means and what your benefits are from doing that. Leather heel counter, leather toe box, like that. Pretty stiff too for the toe box. Leather midsole, shank, and heel base. That's cool. You got a leather shank in there like all the other Pacific Northwest brands. Vibram 430 mini lug. I like this. It's another callback to the drifters. I love this little sole. Very low profile, but you get a lot of grip out of it for how shallow it is. Solid brass hardware. It's like aged brass. Should we test it and see? Scratch a little of this off and see if there's brass underneath. Yep, solid brass underneath. Yeah, I think it's a pretty handsome boot. You know, we haven't cut it in half. Don't know how it's all built and everything, but from the outside, it looks like a pretty solid boot, especially for $340 or what was it, $380? Yeah, that's crazy. So let's lace this thing up and see how it fits. Okay, let's do it. Moment of truth. Been waiting forever to kind of do at least an unboxing of these boots. Maybe we'll do their loggers next. If you want to see a little unboxing of the loggers, I'm sure I could convince Drews to send one down. Here we go. Ooh. Always love that. I always love a good pop into the boot. Ooh, boy, these are stiff. Part of the reason I went a full size down too was try to get the upper to fit me a little bit better. Oh boy, these will be a break in. This upper is some thick leather. Okay, let's see how they feel. Oh yeah, lots of arch support. See, if all the other 55 flats were like this, I'd wear them. But it doesn't look like the 55 ultimately. You know, it's like Part of what made the 55 what it was that almond shape that people like visually. This is just way more function first type of deal. But you lose some of that almond shape. It's a lot more like a snub nose, little short boot. And I kind of like the look of it. I like how it has a little bit of toe spring. It's a kind of a bulbousy little toe. But I think they've done something pretty cool here. You know, I think they found a need in the market. They found a spot where nobody was selling anything of this quality, of this type of boot in that market with this type of quality. They found a way to do it, and it looks like a pretty good boot. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see a logger unboxing. Let me know if you want to see us cut these in half, see how they're built. And thanks for supporting these Rose Anvil 2 videos, because they are so fun to do. Like, unboxing stuff it's just easy and it's fun content. It allows me to geek out about some of the stuff we don't get to cover on the main channel. So let me know what you guys think, and what other stuff you want us to see and unbox, what other brands you want us to unbox, and what else you want me to cover in these kind of videos, because they're just really fun to do. It's just as a fun little part of the business I actually get to fully enjoy, instead of all the other chaos behind the scenes that we do to actually make all this front-facing content and everything that we do possible. So thank you guys so much for your support. See ya.